Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Yay! Oh, yeah, let's applaud. I mean, this is like great weather today. If you haven't been here before, this is what happens now. I'm going to talk for a very short period of time. In fact, this is a very, very short sermon. I know everybody's really depressed. But anyhow, very short because we're doing a secret. Who here likes secrets? Like terrible, amazing secrets. We're doing a secret of the church, but I mean like one that you'll hear. It's weird. It's just kind of strange. Anyhow, I'm going to talk, and then we're going to pass out blue tickets first to women and children. So women and children, raise your hands, women and children. Yeah. Okay. You get tickets first, and then you're going to go over this white bridge and across that way, and we've got food over here. Then I'll go table by table just like a waiter, so stay where you are. I will come to you just like a waiter and give you a ticket. You'll be able to go across, pick up your food, and then we will have plenty of food for seconds. At 11:45, we're going to pass out lunches, and those will be right by the blue gate there. Today is Health Sunday, by the way, so if you have an animal or if you know a friend or whatever, we have the incredible veterinary group over there. Everybody applaud for them. Yay! They're out helping us today and doing an amazing job. And out in the parking lot, we have the Carondelet Van of Hope. And they're out there doing, well, it's a clinic. So if you need to see a health person, that's what's up. So let me tell you what I'm going to talk about today, because I think this is incredibly vital. Who here is poor? Right? Yay! Okay, cool. Well, here's the interesting thing about it. If you're poor in Arizona, you qualify, hopefully, for Access, which is our health system. Here's the problem. The legislature has announced that in the best case scenario, 280,000 more people are going to completely lose health care. So who here is, by the way, quite a few have already lost, who here has lost health care so far? And there are quite a few people who I talked to earlier who had already not met the criteria. Anyhow, 280,000 more people are going to be cut off of access, but even more importantly, it is highly possible that the legislature is going to eliminate the healthcare system for the poor entirely. That's what they're talking about right now, eliminating it. One of the biggest issues that we have is just keeping people generally healthy. And who here has high blood pressure? Okay. Who here has a relative who's had high blood pressure or a relative who's had diabetes? Okay? Who here has ever been told that you are overweight? That you are overweight, okay? Okay, all of those things, if you'll look on your sheets today, are risk factors for diabetes. And let me tell you why this is so important. A little while ago, the legislature came up with a great idea that the guys who were providing health services for feet, they're called podiatrists, that we didn't need that anymore. Well, what were podiatrists mostly doing? They were helping out diabetic foot lesions, people who had diabetes. In just a little bit, I'm going to tell you what happened with that decision. But to get the beginning of the decision, we have to go back way before, when I was a small child during the time of Jesus. So anyhow, this is what happened. It's a long time ago. Who here, by the way, is out in the desert right now, or goes out into the desert, or has your camp out in the desert? Okay. So how dusty is it out there?
It's bad.
It's bad, right? Okay, so Jesus and in the Middle East and everything, and all of the Semitic peoples, they lived in an area that was dusty. So how about this? I'm going to invite you all today for brunch today. Would you like brunch? Yay! Okay, since you've come in, many of you from the desert, if I were like in the time of Jesus and in the Jewish community and everything, what would I do as a symbol of my hospitality? I would wash your feet. It started out, with people just being given water. Here, wash your own feet, that kind of thing. And water was gold at that time. But then they would get a servant to wash your feet. And here, I'll ask you guys. You guys are all brilliant on this stuff here. If you were the servants and they needed you to wash your feet, did they get the highest servant, the most important servant? No. If you were going to wash feet, who did you get? The lowest of the low of the low. The same guy who cleaned out the latrines and that kind of stuff. This is the lowest servant possible. And that's what they would do. They would wash your feet when you came over. Here's the thing. Some of the guys felt that they should be helping people and doing things. So it became a tradition for very rich people to then themselves wash the feet of their guests. To say, I'm honored you are here. Thank you for coming in. Let me wash your feet. Well, Jesus picked up that tradition. And it became exceptionally important in the early church. And in John, it's documented where he washed feet. Why did he do that? And let me show you why. Who's the biggest guy we got here? Who's a who's a brute? Are you this guy over here? He looks pretty big. Over here. Okay, come on, over here. Run on over. Okay, now I need the smallest, like a child or granny. Oh, you're perfect. Okay. Here, you can, it's okay. He can come too. I can use you too. Come on over. Come on over. Here we go. You guys look at this. We're going to do it this way. Here we go. Right there. Here, move in this way a little bit. Okay. Everybody take a look at what we got. We've got the big guy. We've got Granny. We've got a child. Okay, you ready? Now.
I'm going to be taller than that kid.
Yeah, I don't think so. We'll see. Okay, anyhow, so we got Granny and everything. What can he do? He can take care of anybody, right? He's the guy we have to watch out for. And then Granny's here too. So do us a favor. I want you to actually get down on your knees.
Me?
Yeah, get down on your knees. All of a sudden, who's now taller? Right? Granny. By the way, Granny can kick your butt anyhow, so don't worry. But anyhow. But, right? Okay. Now, you get down and bend. No, you stand up. You bend down to wash his feet. Who's taller now? He is. The smallest guy that we have here is now the biggest guy because we've got this guy down on his feet. So this was the ritual in the early church, by the way. Who here has ever been baptized? Who here has ever had communion? These were incredibly important rituals in the early church, but in the earliest church, this was equal to it. And this is what they did regularly, because it says in John, you should. They got down and they washed feet. And they washed feet, and why? Okay, so I'm down here. Why? Somebody tell me, why am I doing this? What am I showing?
Gratitude.
Well, not only gratitude and submission, what else am I showing? Humility. Here's why. If I'm down there, what can he do? He can kill me. He can, I'm showing complete submission to him. But more importantly, we are showing as a people that no one is above anybody else. And if you don't get this yet, think about this. We're now all ants. Who here has seen an ant? Okay. Imagine we're all ants, right? All of a sudden, this guy here, come on, get on up. He's an uppity ant, man. He is mad. He's an uppity ant, right? You say, I'm the number one ant. Say that.
I'm the number one ant.
He's the number one ant, right? And all of us are going, he's the number one ant. So what happens with the human being who walks by?
They step on me.
They step on me, whack, and all of a sudden he doesn't exist. In the earliest church, they looked at human beings that way, in that God was in charge. Jesus was in charge. Having one of us stand up and say, I'm bigger than you are. I have a bigger house. I have more money. I am more important, was ludicrous. Why? Because we're all the same size. We're all of equal importance. And they made the leaders of the church and everybody get down and wash each other's feet to do this. Okay, so here's the cool thing about it. Last time we did this ritual here, we did it specifically for what reason? Does anybody remember? Diabetes. We're getting back to what we talked about before. Diabetes is terrible out there, and they've cut off podiatry care, and we knew we had to be able to find out what was going on. So we got down on our knees, and we took off shoes, and last time we washed feet. How many diabetic lesions, people with diabetic lesions, did we discover last time? 6. 6 people who didn't know they had diabetes. Why? Because we were down on our feet. What else did we discover? We discovered 1 active case of gangrene. Where's Joseph? Joseph is back there. We discovered 1 active case of gangrene. Here's the problem. We got Joseph into the hospital, right? Because gangrene can create all sorts of horrific problems, including losing legs and having strokes and doing things. He got in, he got his feet taken care of as an emergency, and then they let him out. Could he go to a podiatrist then? No, because they eliminated his service. $30! It is $30 to go to a podiatrist. And they said no. So what happened to Joseph? Joseph had 4 strokes from his gangrene, which came back. And how long did you stay in intensive care? 4 weeks in intensive care. Over $300,000, all because they wouldn't spend $30 on a poor person to take care of their feet. Well, in the earliest church, they didn't just get down on their knees to pray. They got down on their knees to look and to say we are all equal. And what we're asking today is that our legislature gets down on their knees, and they should come here and wash your feet. And they should see that it's irrational, it is immoral, it is wrong, unbelievably wrong that they let people like Joseph die because they won't spend $30 to heal their feet. So today, we're going to go table by table. We're going to wash your feet. And if you're overweight, if you have a relative with diabetes, if you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, I'm going to wash your feet. And we're going to see if you have diabetes, because Carondelet is here today to help take care of you. But this has got to stop, and we've got to let everybody know this information.